So I've been in the restaurant business for about 10 years now. I've done a lot. I've done catering, been a line cook, I've been a head chef, I've washed dishes, I've had a food truck, lost a food truck. I've done a lot. One of the questions I get asked a lot about is the food truck. Would I advise anyone to get a food truck? Now, I'm not the type to give you advice and say, no, just because it didn't work for me, that it wouldn't work for you, because it might work for you. Now, I won't tell you why you shouldn't get a food truck. I would tell you my experience and what I think you should do if you are considering getting a food truck. The biggest thing with a food truck is if you're gonna purchase it, that could get expensive. If you're gonna lease it, that could be expensive as well. Leasing it is probably the most easiest way to get one. Like you can get it for cheap. You're gonna probably end up spending more money in the long run on the back end, but it's less risk. And the reason why I say it's less risk, because you'll pay whatever your down payment is and you'll pay your monthly, and then also you have to pay all the other things. Commissary, you have to realize that's separate from your note or your lease. You still have to get a prep kitchen. All of those things are separate, right? So the reason why leasing is more beneficial, because you have to put less money up front, and just in case it doesn't work out, it's easier to break that lease. Therefore, you only really lose if you don't make any money. But if you make money, you can get your money back as far as what you spent on a down payment, and your monthly adds up if you do it right, to where it makes sense, opposed to you downright purchasing a truck. It's a lot of risk because you can't just get rid of that as easily. You have to sell it. And sometimes you might have to sell it for less than what you got it for, just to get off your hands and get rid of the headache. So I would suggest anyone trying to get a food truck to just lease, but that's me. Also, and I say this with anything, food truck, a brick and mortar, anything, guerrilla marketing. You have to market what you have to have a product that already has a name. I would not suggest anyone to invest a lot of money into a food truck in particular, but I say brick and mortar, everything. But definitely a food truck, I would not invest in a food truck if I don't have a brand name already. A brand name that's already been marketed through catering, pop-up events. Build a brand, build a name that people are in demand for. Throw pop-ups. You want to see that people are lining up for your product. If they're lining up for your product and it's getting to the point where you've outgrown the whole pop-up stage, then go ahead and put your money into a food truck or a brick and mortar. Because if you don't build your brand first and you just go out and hit the pavement with your food truck, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be extremely hard. You're gonna be trying to catch up, and then you go into panic mode. You know, you start moving your truck, you move it around. And that's one of the things, like one of the advantages you have with having a food truck is that you're able to move it around. It's a mobile truck, it's a mobile food truck. But that could be a disadvantage too, because sometimes things just take time. You know, with a brick and mortar, you can't just move it, you know, so you have to really take your time and really market. But the thing is, you're the same place, same time, every day. People know where you are. With a food truck, you know, sometimes if a location is not picking up steam, sometimes you'll panic and you'll go to move it. So then you have people who might think you were here, and then they'll come here that day, but you moved because that location wasn't working for you, and you moved, and you expect for everyone to go like on your Instagram or your TikTok and your social media and keep up, but most people don't do that. Most people, they'll see it one day and say, oh, they be right here at this location. And you know, they might not come this day, they might not come for a week or two, but then they'll come and then it's not there, and that kind of, you know, you lose a customer, because, you know, a lot of times when someone drives somewhere for something and it's not there, they're not gonna come looking for it, especially if it's, you know, not in a close area, you know. Definitely market, build your brand, build your name up. And if once you pick a location, I know sometimes it's hard, but stick to that location. Be dependable. People know where you are. If 2 weeks have passed, if a month has passed, if they saw on Instagram or TikTok or wherever that you be there when they actually want to come. Don't panic. And I know it's hard, especially in a food truck. Don't panic and start moving all over the place trying to chase the dollar. Let the dollars come to you. Sometimes that's slow, but you gotta be patient. Menu, the things with food trucks, it's not a restaurant. You don't have a lot of storage. 9 times out of 10, you have to have a prep kitchen. keep your menu simple and light. Simplicity is everything when it comes to having a food truck. Sometimes, you know, we overcomplicate things. You have that one customer who came and say, hey, you should have this on the menu. So then you like, oh, I gotta go out and I gotta buy that. But then what happens is, go out, you panic and you say, oh, I gotta go add this to the menu because people want it. Realistically, it was 1 or 2 people who wanted it. Now you got this stuff on the truck and you can't get it off because people are not buying it, and then you end up losing money on inventory. Don't have a lot of storage on a food truck. If you have to have a prep kitchen, that's an added expense that just gets very expensive. After you add all this stuff up between the prep kitchen, your lease, and commissary and all of those things, you might as well just get a brick and mortar, man. Like I say, I'm not trying to discourage anyone, but this is just my advice. If you're trying to get a food truck, I would really sit down, put together a business plan, think about it. Oh, I didn't even get into the hours. Oh my God. It's a lot of work. Because you gotta realize, like, you have to realize with a food truck, you can't really hire a lot of staff. So 9 times out of 10, it's you, maybe 1 or 2 other people on the food truck. It's a lot of hours. When I had my food truck, I would literally get up at 4:30 in the morning, and I had to get my truck set up because you have to refill propane, you have to refuel, which is expensive. Of course, because you don't have a lot of storage, you have to prep everything. So you had to go to the store every day, literally going to Restaurant Depot, Costco, and all these other places that I had to go buy inventory, clean it up, prep it on the truck, get set up and ready to open about 11:30, 12 o'clock, work your working hours on the truck as labor, get done, gotta take everything down, turn the fryers off and all of this stuff. Sometimes wait for it to cool down, drive back to the commissary, clean up. Man, by the time I got done, sometimes it was 11:30, midnight. Get home, sleep for a couple hours, and I'm back at it again. So it's a lot of hard work, a lot of hard labor. Some people might say that, you know, I'm just saying all negative things and I'm hating and stuff like that. I'm giving advice that I wish people would have gave me early on when I had got my food truck, and I would have listened. One thing I kept hearing and I didn't listen was have a business plan. I feel like in any business you should have a business plan written out and fully look through it, go over it multiple times, cross your T's and dot your I's. That's very, very important. I didn't have it. That was a part of my issue as well. So I'm just being fully transparent, not trying to, you know, discourage anyone or anything, but this is not only my experience, this has been my personal experience, but a lot of other people who I know who have food trucks or have food trucks all experience similar things. So, you know, I get a lot of people who come to me who's just getting in the game and getting started, and they ask my advice, and one of the first things they want to do is get a food truck. And I'm just going to be honest with you and give honest advice. You could take it however you want to take it. If you still want to do it, I salute you. If you want any advice, just reach out to me and I'll give it to you to the best of my ability. But if you do it, just listen to everything that I've said in this video. Just make sure that you're conscious of everything that I'm telling you, and you go into it head on, knowing what you're getting into. Some people are built for it, some aren't. If you're built for it, go ahead. I salute you. I'll see you on the road. Let me know. I'll pull up and I want to try your food. All right. This is your boy Chef Ken here, and that's my advice on anyone trying to purchase a food truck.